There's a report going around that the Carolina Panthers are really high on former XFL quarterback PJ Walker and that they feel he can have success long term as a quarterback in the NFL. Now, for those of you guys who have been subscribed to the channel for a while, I made a video in the offseason saying that PJ Walker could potentially be the franchise quarterback of the Carolina Panthers. Now, that video got a pretty mixed reception. There were Panthers fans out there who agree with me, and there were Panthers fans who disagree with me. Okay? But I told everybody, I said, look, PJ Walker and Matt Rule used to work for each other at Temple. Matt Rule was PJ Walker's head coach at Temple, and PJ Walker was the starting quarterback for Temple when Matt Rule was the head coach there before he went to Baylor. So for Matt Rule, in the offseason, when he decided to bring in PJ Walker, I'm pretty sure he wasn't going to bring in PJ Walker without giving him a fair chance to show that he has what it takes to have success in the NFL. Okay? And PJ Walker got his opportunity against the Detroit Lions a couple of weeks ago, and he looked fairly good. Now, I understand that PJ Walker made some mistakes in that game, but that is expected out of a young quarterback. Okay? I told everybody in the offseason that PJ Walker was a guy who was a project player. You could come in, he's a guy who had a lot of potential, but he is a guy who had to sit back and learn for a little bit. Had to learn how to read defenses, learn how to diagnose coverages, and get better at making decisions. But with the way PJ Walker played against Detroit, you saw the potential and you saw the things that PJ Walker has to work on. So if the Carolina Panthers are able to groom PJ Walker and develop him, he could become a really serviceable, really good starting quarterback in the NFL. Okay? Now, there are several ways that the Carolina Panthers can go with PJ Walker. Remind you that Teddy Bridgewater signed a 3-year deal worth $63 million. That is chunk change compared to what the majority of quarterbacks are making in the NFL nowadays. Guys like Jared Goff, Carson Wentz, Jimmy Garoppolo making like $100 and something million. Teddy Bridgewater is making $63 million. So if the Carolina Panthers aren't happy with Teddy Bridgewater, or they feel like PJ Walker is an upgrade from Teddy Bridgewater, then they could get rid of Teddy Bridgewater's contract and not really suffer that big of financial implications from getting rid of Teddy Bridgewater. And they can make PJ Walker the franchise guy. And think about this. PJ Walker is the equivalent to drafting a quarterback without drafting a quarterback. I said that in the offseason. A lot of people didn't really understand where I was coming from. I was saying, listen, if the Panthers view PJ Walker as the quarterback of the future, a guy who can sit behind Teddy Bridgewater and learn and potentially become a starter, then there's no need to draft another quarterback if you already have your franchise guy. So therefore, the Panthers in 2021, if they were looking to draft a quarterback, they don't need to anymore because PJ Walker already showed them that he could be their franchise quarterback of the future. So therefore, you could either A, draft another position of need like offensive line, another pass rusher with that potential high first round draft pick that you're going to have next year, or you could trade down and acquire more picks. So the third option the Panthers could use with PJ Walker is that if Teddy Bridgewater continues to play good and he plays through his contract and the Panthers want to re-sign Teddy Bridgewater, then PJ Walker's to the point that you could trade him to a team like the Steelers or Saints who are probably going to be needing some help at quarterback, trying to find the quarterback of the future. And you could trade PJ Walker to one of those teams for like a second or maybe a late first round pick, depending on how PJ Walker's development comes along. But I don't believe Matt Rule would assign PJ Walker to be the backup quarterback long term. Remind you that PJ Walker was Matt Rule's quarterback in college. Matt Rule recruited PJ Walker out of high school. He saw PJ Walker not only develop as a football player, but as a man. I don't think Matt Rule would assign PJ Walker without believing that he was going to have some kind of talent or some kind of potential to have success at the NFL level. And we saw that in his game against the Detroit Lions. Now, it's a perfect no. He has some things that he has to work on, but we saw a lot of good things. He has great arm strength. He has great athleticism. PJ Walker can be a starting quarterback in the NFL. And there were a lot of hate comments on PJ Walker saying that if PJ Walker was so good, why did he go undrafted and this and that? Why did he have to play in the XFL? I was telling everybody, I said, listen, there is more than one way to make it to the NFL. Look at Kurt Warner. Kurt Warner was bagging groceries. Kurt Warner was playing in the Arena Football League. Look at Warren Moon. Warren Moon was playing in the CFL for several years before he finally got his break at becoming the starting quarterback in the NFL. There is more than one way to make it to the NFL. Just because you fail at something one time doesn't mean you're terrible at it. You just need to keep trying, and that's what PJ Walker did. PJ Walker is the ultimate underdog story. And that is another reason why Matt Rule likes PJ Walker. That is a big reason why a lot of Panthers fans like PJ Walker. That's a lot of reason why the Panthers and this organization love PJ Walker. And PJ Walker could eventually start over Teddy Bridgewater. Teddy Bridgewater has battled injuries this season. And week 11 against the Detroit Lions, remind you that there was reports that Teddy Bridgewater was healthy. He could have played that game. But they decided to give him another week of rest and give PJ Walker his first career start in the NFL, and he won the Carolina Panthers the game. So you look at PJ Walker, and if the Carolina Panthers wanted to, and if they really believe in PJ Walker, they could get rid of Teddy Bridgewater's contract and make PJ Walker the guy. PJ Walker's only like, 25, 26 years old. He still has a lot of years left of great football ahead of him. He could potentially start over Teddy Bridgewater. So when you look at PJ Walker, I believe that PJ Walker is eventually going to start over Teddy Bridgewater. It may not be next week. It may not be the week after. It may not be this season. But mark my words, PJ Walker is going to start over Teddy Bridgewater eventually. It's just pretty obvious. Think about it. Matt Rule coached PJ Walker in college. PJ Walker was Matt Rule's quarterback at Temple. Do you really think Matt Rule would have brought in PJ Walker and said that, you know what, we are not going to give you a chance to be a starting quarterback in the NFL. We're just going to let you be a backup. Despite the fact that he could have went to teams like the New Orleans Saints and the Pittsburgh Steelers and have a better chance to become the franchise quarterback there for those respective organizations, but he decided to sign with his former college head coach. I think that Matt Rule sees PJ Walker more than just a career backup. Think about it. I don't think Matt Rule would have brought in PJ Walker to be his backup quarterback long term without giving him a chance to see what he can do as a starter. So I think that PJ Walker will eventually start over Teddy Bridgewater. I just think that the signs are pretty obviously. Think about it. The story is going around that the Carolina Panthers are really high on PJ Walker. They feel like he can have a lot of success in the NFL in the future. And PJ Walker used to play under Matt Rule at Temple. And Teddy Bridgewater has a 3-year deal worth $63 million. That is dirt cheap if the Carolina Panthers wanted to get rid of Teddy Bridgewater and move on from him. So, I mean, I think the signs are pretty obvious. I think that Teddy Bridgewater is going to start over Teddy Bridgewater, or PJ Walker, is going to start over Teddy Bridgewater somewhere down the road. It may not be this year, but it's going to happen eventually. I just think that's pretty obvious. The Carolina Panthers are really high on him. They like him a lot. And he used to play under Matt Rule in Temple. So I think that Teddy Bridgewater could eventually be replaced by PJ Walker, especially with all of the injury problems that Teddy Bridgewater has had so far this season. So you guys let me know what you guys think about this down in the comment section down below. Do you guys think that PJ Walker could be the franchise quarterback of the Carolina Panthers and eventually start over Teddy Bridgewater? Make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel for more NFL videos and content. And thanks for watching.